Yes, sir, that.
Yeah, I was intrigued about your concert. I'm in the travel business, and I was in Dublin for the Penn State game. You know, they're saying there was 30,000 Penn State fans, and I was down at the Temple District, you know, afterwards, and I think there probably was with the amount of people I saw drinking beer down there. But could you take the amount of people that were either posting on Facebook or tweeting from there, and I could market to those people when they go to the next bowl game to say I have a package available?
Yeah, there are any number of heuristics that you might use. See, I get that big word. To guess that people in that stadium are Penn State fans. Their travel, you know, where they came from is one of them. What they're doing, what they're tweeting about, talking about, are certainly another one. And yeah, you can absolutely take people who are in a particular geography, a stadium, who do a particular thing that would allow you to suggest that you know something about them and market to them on an ongoing basis. Yes. Can't be the only question. Come on, it's not possible that everything we said made sense. But we won't. Oh, yes, ma'am.
How do you know if you have a bad review? And then once you get cleaned on, because as you're saying, there's 300 different sites, so is there a way that, like, do you go to every site to see if there's,
Well,
like,
yes, we employ a team of little hamsters, and they sit on their table and they just go to every site every day. As with most of these services, there are a combination of people and software, and you know there are systems that you can use that you can sign up for, and they have a little bit of a price, but they'll do a number of things. One of them is they'll tell you every time you get a review posted about anytime anyone says anything about your business, they'll tell you. And you can say, oh, I want to get that in an email form, however you want to get that. You can get a summary at the end of the month. And then if you want to, you can even then get to talk and say, well, what do I do about that? What should I say about those reviews? And how can I get more positive reviews? But the most basic reputation monitoring is using a combination of software and people who scour the web and let you know every time someone says something about your business. Yes, sir?
Yelp and Angie's List, they both have sales teams, and they try and sell you to their program.
Yes,
They use for is extortion.
Yes.
yes. They'll try to convince you that if you do business with them, you're going to get all these great reviews, right? That's the tack that they're trying to take there. What they're really doing is they're just selling you ads, right? They're selling you an ad up top there, and they're assuming that, okay, when someone types in Italian restaurant, oh, they're going to click on yours and go to your restaurant and then write you up a good review. That's the stretch. But they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, hey, you advertise with us, you're going to get more good reviews. Trust me, we've heard that a lot. Don't believe the hype.
Yeah. I will say that there's probably, even in this room, there's confusion about Yelp. A lot of businesses don't like Yelp. And one of the reasons that a lot of people don't like Yelp is if you go back to your office and you write a review about this hotel or a restaurant you went to last night, your review might show up on Yelp. It might not. It might show up when you look at Yelp, but not when you look at Yelp. And that drives people crazy. But if Troy writes a review on Yelp, his will show up every time. And pretty soon people start thinking, well, they're just gaming the system. Actually, they're not. What they're trying to do is to keep other people from gaming the system. Because years ago, you could just hire Yuri in Poland, pay him $1,000, and he'd write 1,000 positive reviews on Yelp about your business. They got wise to that, and they started putting a bunch of checks and balances in place. Troy writes a lot of Yelp reviews. He has a huge social media following. He's been certified as, what do they call it, a super Yelper or elite Yelper. So when he writes a review, they know who Troy is. It always goes to the top. If you write a review and you have never written one before and they don't know who you are, it might not go to the top. Now, what creates a lot of that conflict is the salespeople at Yelp trade on that fact. And they say, oh, well, that's because the reason your reviews aren't always showing up is you're not paying us. It's not actually true, but it helps them close business. So, yes, it's dodgy, but Yelp is the third largest search engine in the country today. After Google, YouTube, yes, it's larger than Bing / Yahoo, which are more or less the same thing. More and more people are using it to search. It's an incredibly powerful tool. Advertising on it is not a bad idea, but it won't actually get you more positive ratings and reviews on it. Are we all ready with the winner? Or are we still looking
I
at it?
have one more question.
Oh, sorry, one more question.
So this scorecard on here, so if, like, the businesses, they can write their name on it, but they can also write their 3 competitors.
Yep, when I
And then
showed
they know
you,
how they're coming up in Google and so forth.
when I showed you on the screen that Cloverdale Playhouse, and we were comparing their score to a couple of their competitors, the application can guess who your competitors are, and maybe we'll get it right. But if you tell us, we're much more likely to be able to show you exactly how your business is doing compared to the 2 or 3 businesses that you would most like to compare yourself to.
If you set up with a tracking number on a phone,
Then you got screwed. So
One thing
that's
you'll find about James, by the way, he sugarcoats everything.
one of the dirty little secrets out here is that the phone company, YP, Yellow Pages, and a lot of them, they don't care if you show up in Google. And they'd love to sell you some things that they can explain to you are really great for your business that make it harder for you to be found on Google, because then it's easier for them to come back and try to sell you more Yellow Pages ads. One of the guys on our team, sitting in the back, actually used to do this, and he can tell you real stories about how that works. If they sell you a call tracking number, so that you put a different phone number online in a variety of different places so you can see where those leads are coming from, well, what did you just do? You just broke your presence online, because now you might as well have a different name for your business on every website. Bad idea, but the reason for that is the person selling you that bad idea doesn't care and actually wants it to be a bad idea.
What if you have your own call tracking?
Well, call tracking numbers can be somewhat useful in some capacity, but the idea of putting a variety of different phone numbers online into things that are searchable by Google and that people might use to find you is not a particularly good idea.
What do you think about the idea of using I've had some experience with this, using a call tracking number, say, for all of our radio advertising?
Yeah, if it's on a radio commercial, if it's on a radio spot or a television commercial or somewhere that's not listed online and you're expecting people to remember it and actually, fine. But do not put it online. Now, most of the things that you do put online, if you buy a mobile website and it's got a click the call button on it, well, of course we can tell you how many people pressed the click the call button. So you can actually get a lot of useful analytics from things that you do on the web, even though you list the same phone number. If you still send out, I hope you don't, but direct mail, or if you're running radio spots or TV ads, you want to do call tracking numbers there, great. But pick one phone number, a local phone number, put it online.
What happens if you got multiple markets?
That's fine. So
Like, one case I got 5 markets I worked on. And,
if you have 5 markets, you should have 5 distinct web presences for each market. Because one of the things Google has to know, and consumers have to know, where are you? And one of the things that they're going to do is they're going to look for an address, and they're going to look for a local phone number. And if you're saying that you have a business in York, Pennsylvania, but you have a phone number from Baltimore, because you're using the same number for all 5 locations, the internet does not like that. And it can be cumbersome and time-consuming and a little bit expensive, but if you have 5 locations, and there are 5 locations that you actually want people to be able to find, potentially go to or call, those are 5 different businesses in the mind of Google, and you have to treat them somewhat uniquely so that people can find each of the 5.
I don't want to take everybody else's time, so if you had a corporate website, and now you're going and because we're doing some digital stuff now with a company out of Maryland, and you wanted to, say you were down on the Eastern Shore, which is down by East Coast, down by the coast. We're doing a corporate site. Should we have another site for the Eastern Shore? Is that what you're saying?
Probably.
Or should you do a sub-site?
To get into the specific tactics of it, we should really look at your business specifically. But the general answer is, if you have more than one location for your business, you need to have more than one online presence, so that each individual location has its unique presence and can be found based on its geography and its phone number. Yes, sir.
I have a film company, and I have a mailing address and a studio address for like the acting classes and all that kind of stuff. As far as the presence goes, do I need to put both of those addresses on Google or whatever else, or?
Jen, you got a recommendation on that one? That's a relatively specific question.
likely the studio address, if that's where most people would be coming for your.
Jen's not the loudest person.
I would say likely your studio address, if that's where people would be coming to you for classes and that sort of thing, as opposed to the main address.
What I would say is, one of the things that we would do in this initial meeting with this buzzboard report, we show you your score, we go through the red X's and the green check marks. One of the things we talk to you about is, what do you want people to do? Right, and the thing that your online presence, and I think this is, Jen's answer is probably right. The question is, what do you want them to do? Most likely, you don't want them to send you mail. Right, so the mailing address is probably something you use for other purposes, so it's probably going to be the address that you want people to be able to drive to or come to. But to me, the salient point is, we would answer that question with feedback from you about what do you want people to do, and let's make sure that the online presence allows people to do that thing.